Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Tuesday, April 12th. We are back, and no more regular season, no more who's in, who's out, no more who wants to win, who doesn't want to win, because the play-in tournament's here. Win or go home season has arrived in the National Basketball Association, and we couldn't be happier about that. Ian Cameron, joined as always by Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, and it's Tuesday, which means we've got Jay Money back with us in the house on this Tuesday. So we're looking forward to it. We got two play-in games tonight. If you're not aware of what the format is, it's the same as last year. The bottom line is whoever loses tonight is not their season's not over. They get a second chance, both of them. If they lose tonight, they'll play the winner of the 9 versus 10 in each conference on Friday is when that game would be. So that's the way it works. But if you want to get it done tonight, get the playoff spot clinched tonight, so you don't have to play that extra game on Friday. There's still certainly incentive to be able to get the job done tonight. So with that in mind, let's get to it. We'll get the first game, which is the Eastern Conference 7 versus 8 matchup in this play-in tournament. The Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Brooklyn Nets. We've got Brooklyn 9.5-point home favorites, 226.5 the total in this game. So obviously Brooklyn, we know everybody's available, including Kyrie. Of course, now he can play at home. We've known that for a while. We know the Brooklyn Nets are certainly going to be a handful for the Cleveland Cavaliers to handle at the offensive end of the floor. There's no question. The only lingering concern with the Nets was Seth Curry's status, but he will play in spite of the ankle injury, so expect him to be in the starting 5 tonight for the Nets in this game. I think Brooklyn's probably going to win this game, but now we're talking a point spread that has gone up to 9.5 from where it opened at 8, and we are still talking about a Cleveland or a Brooklyn Nets team that is 3-23 ATS. Their last 26 as home favorites. Do you know how bad that is? And we have just gone over and over this time and time again with the Nets, how bad they've been laying points on their home floor. And to me, Cleveland's good enough to compete and hang a little bit in this game. Now, they just played last week down the stretch of the regular season. And if you had Cleveland like I did, that was a heartbreaker. Cleveland's right in the game most of the way, and then it was a fourth quarter avalanche, essentially, for the Nets down the stretch. They pulled away, they won, they covered, they ended up getting the victory by double digits in that game. It was very difficult in terms of if you had Cleveland in that game, difficult to lose it that way. I think Cleveland can hang in this one. It's still too many points for me to trust Brooklyn. I like Cleveland here plus 9.5 in this game with the points. I would only look toward over the total as well, given the Nets' offensive potency. At the same time, their defense is still suspect, and that's putting it mildly. And from player props, which you're going to see me involved in a lot more player props now that we're into the play-in games and the playoffs overall. I saw what Wham was liking earlier. He posted a couple of his. I can't argue with that Darius Garland double-double. I mean, it stands out like a sore thumb. He's going to get 10-plus points. There's a damn good chance he gets 10 assists as well. He's been obviously the catalyst for Cleveland. I think Kevin Love could actually be a little bit of an X factor, fly under the radar a little bit here in this game as well. He's one of those veteran guys you rely on to step it up offensively in a game of this magnitude. So Love's not a bad option. As far as Cleveland goes too, Mobley over points and rebounds is interesting because I think he's going to have the ability to really crash the glass with success against a Brooklyn front court that we've said all season is not exactly one you have to be fearful of. So I think Mobley's one of those guys that can produce as well with the points and the rebounds. So that's what I like here. Cleveland over the total, and those props that I mentioned, I think all worth a look. Dutch, we'll start with you here. First of the play-in games, Cleveland, Brooklyn.
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. So be sure to hit that motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this plane of Wedding Crashers and get you right where you need to be.
Hey, pass that shit.
Hey. My man. Hey, big shout out to Jackson Zoe, JPZ, Alfonso Scott, Sam Comer, my man. Everybody in the chat, you already know it's much love. I did put out a tweet. If everyone in the chat could retweet it, like it, muchly appreciated. Lucky Power, I see you, my dude. I got a lot on the second game. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I got a lot on the second game. My man in the chat said backward his first game. I mean, kind of realistically, it is a backward for me. I'll give you a little something. I believe there's value on Andre Drummond. The rebounds. I believe my guy H-Town like that. The rebounds. I was looking at the double-double. It was plus 110. Some other places minus 105. Shop around. But man, he had 15 and 12 against these boys in 23 minutes, real recent ago. My man Bobano touched on it. 7-11 from the field, +9. So I mean, I think Drummond going to have his way. He's bigger, stronger than anybody else out there on this court, really. So I believe he'll benefit from that. He did play in Cleveland, for a short minute. It's not like they shitted on him. They kind of took care of him, but playing against the next team, only played 25 games there last year. But man, I look for Drummond to have his way. I think 15 rebounds is easy. 10 points should be easy. So either if you can't get the double-double, take a look at the over 11.5 rebounds. But the double-double at plus money seems to me like a beautiful thing. I also see cats out there on Curry at over 2.5 threes at plus 120. Shout out to our guy Spencer on that. That caught my eye, but I don't like betting props with motherfuckers that are coming off injury. Do I think he's hurt? No. But if he's a little bit gimpy with that ankle, he's not getting my money. But I'm not mad at that look. I could see Curry getting off. He will be open. That's for sure. But yeah, man, there's levels to this shit to me. And Brooklyn is clearly on another level than Cleveland. But are they going to cover the 10? I'm not going to pay to find out. What you feeling, Jay?
All right. It's funny you mentioned that, Dutch, about is worried about Curry props off an absence, an injury, an illness, whatever. It's kind of the way I feel about Russell in the second game, but we'll talk about Minnesota and the Clippers. He's coming off a little illness. Is he going to be ready to just shake off the rust and be dynamic right away is the big question. Jay Money, what do you like here?
Yeah, man. Dutch over there gassing up, man. I'm trying to hit that wedding crasher. But for this game, man, I can't lay the 9.5 with the Nets, man. Even if they cover this game, it's just a pre-game. I don't think it's a good bet. If you look at them, it's been one of the worst home covering teams that I think I've ever seen in the NBA in my 15 plus years of covering the NBA, man. So they're 3-23 against the spread. Last 26 is a home favorite. And usually every time they're at the house, they're home favorites. So it's basically every game. This thing, they just don't cover spreads at the house. Obviously, the last game they did cover versus the Cavs, but even in that game, they ended up winning by 11. They were down. In that game going into the fourth quarter, and basically had to play another game just to come back and win. So that's my problem with the Nets, and especially expecting them to win by double digits. They just come out there messing around, bullshitting around. Well, they know that they're much better than everybody offensively. So what do you get? No defense from these guys, and so that's why I'm staying away from their games. They can blow out anybody, but they could also lose straight up to anybody as well. I like the looks with that Drummond possibly going double-double. Obviously, for the Cavs, they got Mobley back. I think the main offense would come from LeVert and Garland. That's where all their offense comes from. So you want to look at props for Garland and LeVert. Garland is basically the whole team right now. So that's the way I'll be looking at it. I must say I didn't make an official play in this game. These play-in tournaments, one-offs, anything can happen, man. Wham, what you liking this one?
That's for sure. Wham.
Yeah, man. I just think like what you guys say. I think it's Garland or nothing for the Cavs for sure. Like you mentioned, Jay, and it was some moments in the last game where they just recently played, like you guys said, that he did some type of mistakes that I feel like they're really correctable, especially in this type of high intensity setting. Guys like Rondo's right there in the ear talking to him at film practice. I think they have that locked in. JB's done a great job this year. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm a little biased. I've been saying this shit all day. I do got Garland 22-1 to win most improved candidate of the year right there. And if he wins this is gonna give that media push that I need. You know what I'm saying, to get that extra little spot. Though I wouldn't be surprised there. But so I am on Garland double. I do believe that what you seen him do last game when he got blitzed, he can make the right corrections there. And with that being said, I'm going to take the double at plus 130, like my guy Babeno did mention. And along with Bruce Brown, I'm taking Bruce Brown as well, just because last time I said I'm going to stay away from Bruce Brown, and he ended up going off, almost having a triple-double. I'm going right back to the well with Bruce Brown again. I ain't going to be scared of it this time. So Bruce Brown over 13.5 points, obviously hitting 70% over the last 7 games. So I'm going to keep rocking with that. And then there's Garland, like my guys did mention, Jay, he's gonna be him or LeVert. As far as LeVert doing the assist, I think LeVert has to be the scorer today. So he's gonna have more attempts than 10 that he had last game. I think he has to be more of a scorer here, and it's gonna be up to those two guys to get involved. So I hope those guys are really the main catalyst that goes getting those Garland assists, LeVert being a recipient of that. So I like the cast full game though, to be honest with you, as far as the side. I'm not gonna lie. So I think the Cavs win this game. It makes it even more of a story to talk about how bad the Nets is. They just ready to talk shit about the Nets. You know what I'm saying? The narrative could be like the narrative could be right there. So Cole, they're gonna bring up all the bullshit about Kyrie all over again. You know what I'm saying? Then here you come Ben Simmons coming back because he did say, I think I just seen a quote today that he just said that he feel more confident than ever. He feel like he Jordan on
Stop
practice.
They
Like,
can
come
stop
on,
all
dog.
that.
Like, where are these
Jordan,
reporters
I
coming
didn't see
from?
Jordan.
No, I want to talk about where the reporters
like
coming at.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but at the same time, neither here nor there. Neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, I think the Nets are the better offensive team. KD gets what he wants. Maybe even Kyrie gets what he wants, but I think Darius Garland be able to find a way. The defense for the Nets, it's not going to be this top tier in the playoffs. So I think they've been playing real lately, but not tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's like I say, this is just one of those games where I don't always like taking the team that I'm not sold on them that they're going to win the game, that being Cleveland. But I've also seen this too much from Brooklyn, at least in the regular season. There's just no 48-minute thorough performance on their home floor. Maybe it's going to change now that the play-in's here, but I'm going to have to see it before I believe it, which is why I'm on Cleveland here with the points in this one, as well as the over. And like I said, I like the double-double with Garland. The double-double with Mobley, I think, is worth a look for Cleveland as well, even though it's only $1.10, and also the points as well for I believe it was Garland over points. I don't mind, but I think the double-double is probably the better option there. All right, second game of the play-in tonight, the Western Conference 7 versus 8 matchup. LA Clippers, Minnesota Timberwolves. We got Minnesota 3-point home favorites, 230.5 the total in this one. Charles Barkley on Sunday said, I'm worried about my Sixers. And I guess you could say the Timberwolves, you're kind of worried about my Timberwolves in this game, to be quite honest with you. I know the Timberwolves have been very nice to me. They've really been the team I thought they would be. You know, I thought they'd be a 7-8 seed in the West. That's exactly where they are. They'd be much improved. I think Chris Finch has done a hell of a job as the head coach here. But now we're talking about playoff pressure, talking about the play-in game, win or go home, even though there's going to be a second chance, obviously, for Minnesota if they lose. But when you look at what the Timberwolves have here, they have Pat Beverly's got some experience, but Russell Edwards, Vanderbilt, as good as Karl Anthony Towns is, hasn't played a shit ton of these kind of pressure type of games for the Timberwolves. On the other side, for the LA Clippers now going into this game, Kawhi is still out, but we didn't expect him to be back this soon anyway. And Luke Kennard, they will miss him a little bit with the hamstring. Didn't even travel to Minnesota. We know he can catch fire from the perimeter at any given moment. But when you look at their roster with Batum, Zubats, Marcus Morris, and especially Reggie Jackson and Paul George, these are guys that have had playoff experience, played in these kind of environments before. It really could matter. And the one thing I really didn't like about Minnesota down the stretch, and I'm sure you might mention it, defense just was not up to par. It really was not for this Minnesota Timberwolves team. Their defensive rating continuously declined down the stretch. No question about that. And it does concern me whether now they're going to have to outscore the Clippers to win this game. And we know they're a great offensive team when they've got everything going. There's no doubt. They've got multiple guys that can hurt you. They've got the inside-outside balance, Towns, and then, of course, Russell and Edwards as well. But this is a team that defensively, look, it's very difficult to trust them. And we even saw it against teams like Washington when they gave up 132 points. How does that happen? How do you give up 132 points to the Washington Wizards? So really, that does bother me and concern me quite a bit here going into this game. What I do like here in this game more than anything is I actually do lean Clippers from a side perspective, but I'm not going to war with that because I just my affinity for the Timberwolves and how good they've treated me this year. I have a hard time really pulling the trigger against them, but I am damn.
Don't let that tattoo get in the way, Bobano.
I am damn concerned about them in this spot tonight. But the home court might be enough for them.
Bro, you got a tattoo?
Played at home.
Ian, you got a tattoo of the wood?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
I do not.
I was going to say,
That's
Ian,
a joke.
Ian, it don't like you have any.
Yeah,
Ian, I don't think
running
you have
joke.
any tattoos.
No, I
Right.
don't.
Right.
It's
all
all
good.
good.
You don't
Jay.
have to. It's all good.
Someone said he had a tramp stamp of the Timberwolves because he was on. Like that. So it's a little inside there, homie.
Right.
It's just hilarious though. But I'm glad, I'm glad that you're not on the Timberwolves. I will say
I
that.
am not, but I'm going to maybe look for something live in game if the Clippers take a lead. But one thing that you can't overlook too is Ty Lue in this instance. This is a guy that usually has a good game plan put together. We've
Mhm.
seen his teams, beat teams when they're down 3-1 in playoff series past, like what he did last year and 2 years ago. We've seen Ty Lue, be able to really help his team in a positive way at playoff time. So I like the over more than anything. I'm veering more toward the total in this game, and I'm going to split it up. First half, full game. Minnesota trended over down the stretch. I think you'll get points early. It might slow down late, which is why I'm going to split it between over 112.5 in the first half, the over, and the over 230 and a half that we see for the full game. So it's going to be a split bet. First half, full game over for me. Lean to the Clippers. And as far as the props go for me in this game, I'm not going to overcomplicate it with the Clippers. Paul George over 34.5 points and rebounds. I mean, I think he's going to have to score. He's going to have to obviously rebound the ball, and he's been doing a good job of that lately as well for the LA Clippers. So I think he gets his boards. I think he gets his points over 34.5 there. I think for Minnesota, I don't trust Russell after missing 2 games with an illness. Maybe he can light it up, be, on top of his game, shooting the basketball, but I'd rather have Edwards if I'm going to look at a Minnesota prop. Edwards is over 22.5 points. That does interest me as well. So really one prop on each side. Anthony Edwards over 22.5 points for Minnesota. Paul George over 34.5 points and rebounds for the LA Clippers tonight. That's what I'm looking at here. Wham, let's start with you on this one. T-Wolves Clips.
Yeah, I'm looking at Norman Powell points. I think that's a good sign. I think he gets 20 points tonight. I'm not going to hold you. I think that the Minnesota Timberwolves, y'all know I'm right there with Babano. I've been one of my favorite teams so far this year. As far as I thought they were going to be good, and they became just that, a playoff team, and that's just amazing seeing Jared Vanderbilt, a guy that I've been looking at, D'Angelo Russell, being able to distribute for this team, being a main point guard. It's been a great season, bro. But today, they're going against a way better team, way more physical team. They got a lot of more wings. They just got the better guys, I believe, in this game. And like you said, they got the experience as well. Like Nicholas Batum, Ty Lue, all them boys out there, they've been in these little moments. As far as Norman Powell as well, like I mentioned, over 15.5 points. That seemed like why not take that bet? I haven't bet that yet, but I'm locked in on the Clippers, bro. I took the 3.5. And I took the money line, split it up like my guy Ski would say, a little ski line, the half and half on it. You feel me? And that's the way I'm looking in this game. I believe Minnesota Timberwolves will get into the playoffs. This is not going to be the end all be all, but I think today against this game, which is cool about all these games because all these teams could be in the playoffs, and we just bullshitting tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? For these games though today, I think the Clippers will be one of those victorious teams. And then also, we got Scott Foster in the house, y'all. Come on now. Let's look at the rest. You know what it is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's ranked, the Wolves, bro. They ranked 29th in free throw attempts when he's playing, bro. When he's reffing out there. When he out there running around. El Maroy is as well the other guy. They ranked 27th in that regard as well. So both of those dudes might be on the outside of it. I wouldn't be surprised even Cat getting foul trouble early on, you know what I'm saying, going that Zubac. So I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Don't get me wrong. Don't quote me. I wouldn't be surprised, though.
Yeah, Scott Foster, there's always some shenanigans ready to occur whenever we see that guy on the basketball court skulking around there. I know Dutch has a strong take on this game, so we'll get him at the end. We'll go to Jay next. Jay, what do you like here?
Yeah, this is it's a tough game, man. I'll be honest. I'm a realist, right? The Clippers are playing better basketball going in. They hadn't played many huge what the fuck happened? Okay, my bad. I just try to see what the hell happened. But anyway, I'm trying to see if we
he be doing that. He be doing that.
Oh, okay.
You good, bro.
Cuz hit that gas. Cuz had to go hit the gas real quick, man. It's all good. Hit the gas on camera. But the Clippers have won 5 straight, right? You look at who they played. They beat the Bucks when they rested a bunch of guys, but the Bucks rested their whole starting fiver, like their top 6 guys. They beat the Pelicans, basically in the Pelicans letdown spot, beat the Suns. Suns didn't have anything to play for it, and the Kings and Thunder were both tanking. So the Clippers been playing well since they got Paul George back, and they do have they played a better defense as well. They're the number 1 defense over the last 5 games, and the Clippers have the more experience as well. I do feel like this Wolves team is hungry, though. They hadn't been playing good ball. You look at it, they lost the first 3 games versus the Clippers. They smacked them up. There was 3 games in the span of 10 days. Then the last game, though, after the Wolves, like, all right, look, we're forced to be reckoned with in the Western Conference. And the last game, I'm talking about, I was all over the Wolves in this spot, too. I'm like, the Clippers can't fuck with them. They were getting 3.5 over there in LA. And I'm talking about just absolutely dog walk them boys, trifecta spot 122 to 104. So I know that the Wolves can hang with these guys. The Wolves play better at the house as well. And I found the opportunity to go against the whole world. And I don't know. I just like being a contrarian. If the whole world's on the Clippers, I understand why. They're the better basketball team so far as of late, the last 2 weeks. But I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I put a half unit on Wolves -3, half unit on Wolves -145. Nobody likes it, I understand, but that's what I'm rocking with. What you like, Dutch?
Yeah, my man. Hey, real quick though, let's show some love to our guys in the chat. Razor Sharp Picks and Resmo. Hit the motherfucking money train for these cats real quick. Yeah, run that.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Razor Sharp the dono, Resmob the dono. We appreciate it very much, both of you. And Razor Sharp, thank you for the kind words. And yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I knocked the camera out, but you're right. I was doing a little blow right next to me.
not blow.
You say hit that gas.
Bro, we don't condone that shit. No.
Hey, we ain't fucking with our noses.
Yeah, never that. Shout out to Big Zo too. I see you, my dude. But yeah, man. Hey, you guys touched on a lot. I do agree to to follow on what my man Jay Money just said. The one thing that was different, my man, when they was in LA, Paul George wasn't in that game. And now he played in the 3 games that they did beat their ass in a 10-day span. You did mention, and they're 3-0 in that span. 19 points per game was the average win, averaging 119 points per game against these motherfuckers. You touched on it as well. Everybody kind of touched on it. The Clippers are playing better basketball, and my man Jay broke down who they've been playing. But you line them up, knock the fuck down. That's the way it goes. You feeling yourself a little bit towards the end of the playoffs, and that's, I think, a team that you want to back, especially in a playing game like this, winning 5 straight, averaging 128 points per game in that span. Only allowing, you touched on it too, they've been playing some motherfucking defense, 102 points per game in that span as well. So they're 4-1 ATS last 5 versus these boys. So they play well, like I touched on against Minnesota. 6-1 straight up last 7 against the Timberwolves. To me, this is a clear Clippers spot here. And my man Wham Bam touched on a very strong point. This is not it for the Minnesota. They could still be in the playoffs, okay? They're just not going to be a team that's better coached, like my man Bobano did touch on. Ty Lue going to run circles around this motherfucker. And then also they got a bigger, stronger, in my opinion, bench. Obviously Luke Kennard, like the little motherfucking YMCA boy, to hit a couple of those, but they're deep enough. My man Wham Bam on the coffee, he lets you know what he do. They got Terrence Mann. They're deep. They got veterans. They got a little, toughness in Marcus Morris. But what it comes down to is PG, man. I'm telling you, when he's on the court, they rough these boys. 19 points per game. Don't overthink this. You're getting plus money. I dropped 2 units on the +3, and I took a little bit on the +130. I also have a unit on the team total over 114.5, -105. I gave you everything that y'all need to know about that. A little bit more about Minnesota, though. They're 1-4 ATS last 5 at home, 1-6 overall against the spread last 7, allowing 127 points per game the last 5. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, they got some talent. I know Towns could get down, and I know Russell, not so much Russell, but Edwards can do his thing. And also Russell coming off 2 fucking missed games with the ankle. I wouldn't trust that motherfucker if he's 110. Definitely not with a little gimp. So I'm telling you, man, the Clips about to get it in that ass tonight. Take that plus money, take the points, and see me at the motherfucking window. Shout out to our guy, Doc.
There you go. LA Clippers +3.5 and money line. Dutch loving the Clippers, loving the
team
Clip
total over
as
tonight. Well. Yeah, man. I give it to
total
you all. Y'all got everything.
And you're right. That's the key thing to remember about this game tonight. The losing team is going to get another opportunity, and they're going to get a home game. They're going to host the 9 versus 10.
You know what? Ian, real quick, I got to say something because I've kind of put the conspiracy hat on. So if you're going to have another game with the NBA one, I know Scott Foster's in this motherfucker, and he is in – I ain't going to say too much. Well, let's just put it like this. Scott Foster's usually in games for certain reasons. I just don't think he's in this one for the Clippers because the Clippers still could have another home game. That'll be a big game at the crypto.com in LA. And if you're the Clippers, would you rather face the Suns or the Grizzlies? Grizzlies has smacked their ass every single time this year. They 0-4 versus the Grizzlies. If I'm the Clippers, I don't want to go. I don't want the 7th seed to go up against the Grizzlies. If anything, I want to get some playoff revenge versus the Suns that we faced last year. They're not going to win either series, but that's just my conspiracy. If I'm the Clippers, there's a couple of reasons why. Like I say, I'll be honest, guys. I usually be like, I'm a bettor. I do this shit for a living. I usually like probably going in on some shit when I really like something. This game, I could see it going either way. To be honest with you, it's not something that I didn't bet as much as I usually do on games, but I still took the Wolves. And I'm trying to fucking win, but I just want
maybe the Clippers want the 8 seed, lose tonight, win the next.
I'm gonna tell
series,
you right now.
and
I'm gonna tell you
Antonio
right
will.
now.
That's just
Hey,
conspiracy.
they don't want neither one of them motherfuckers. They don't
Yeah,
want
they gonna
to see
lose
the
it
Grizzlies, and they don't want to see Phoenix. So it don't fucking matter. It's like looking at something you don't want either one, but hey, we do know that we're gonna beat the fuck out of Minnesota. Come on, man.
Hey, at least they're
Clippers
2-2 versus the Suns this year. 2-2 versus the Suns, 0-4 versus the Grizzlies. I never could come on here and say that someone's gonna lose a game on purpose, but I'd rather face the team that I have a couple of wins over versus a team that smacked me every single time this year. So that's just me, man. Y'all know how I am. I look at shit from games that nobody else look at. Angle through nobody else look at.
It's Phoenix's West.
But there are people on Minnesota though. I see you playing that underdog, but there's a lot of motherfuckers on Minnesota that I do respect too, as yourself, you know. So I know motherfuckers that put big money on Minnesota. I see it, you know, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck, you know? I can see it, but to me, I was in love with the Clippers when I seen this shit 3 days ago.
I need to get a haircut though.
And nothing really. Nothing really has taken me off of it, you know. And PG, I mean, he got enough games under his legs to play some basketball, I believe, tonight.
Well, the big news for the Clippers is finally getting Norm Powell back, and he's a playoff guy. I mean, played well in obviously playoffs past, and so having him back is absolutely significant for them and someone you want.
Reggie Jackson have averaged 20 plus in all 3 games he played against these boys too, you know. So I'm telling you, it's gonna be PG, Reggie Jackson show, Norman Powell. They're deeper, better, man. I mean,
Covington's been playing some good ball. Covington
and they got Covington.
That's what I'm saying.
On the bench, I mean, I don't think they'll lose Kennard.
Even if Zubac fucking up, Covington
you'll see more defense without, you know. But yeah, it comes down to PG, you know, to me and Reggie Jackson, to be honest. But I think they'll handle these boys.
The last thing I'll say, in Covington threes might be worth a look. It should be somewhere around 2.5. Covington's threes, he's been hot from 3. He's been making them as well. He's been taking at least about 5 or 6 a game. So if it's somewhere around 2.5, I might sprinkle on Robert Covington over 3-point props. This is the last thing I got on this game.
Definitely.
It sounds like you like the Clips.
That's over 1.5. Oh, they tripping. No, I don't like the Clippers. I like the Wolves, but Robert Covington over 1.5 threes and plus 120. That's disrespectful.
Last 6 games,
I'm telling you,
he's playing, like my guy said, 6.5 3-point attempts, 51% shooting from that percent, bro. So he hitting 3 of them things a game.
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't gonna tell you about no props, but I like him as off the bench playing defense. Like, I mean, yeah, I like that, man. I like Covington a lot.
This was a good prop game though, but I stayed off Reggie. I almost took Reggie over points, but with Paul George now back and Norman Powell now being part of the rotation for the Clippers, you would just wonder if he's going to have the volume of field goal attempts that he'd have otherwise. That's the one thing that's going to hold me back from betting that one. But these are 2 interesting games tonight, and again, the winner or the loser of these 2 games is still alive. They get another chance. They get their last chance, obviously. They'll play the winner of tomorrow's games, the 9 versus 10 in each conference, and that'll be on Friday. All right, so before we get to best bets and Dutch's freshest look and wrap things up, again, thanks to everyone for joining us. 216 live viewers. Hit the like button. Ray Hahn, $4.99 dono. We appreciate it. Shout out to Ray Hahn. We appreciate that a lot. Just letting you know of the schedule. Tomorrow on Wednesday, we're going to talk the Wednesday play-in games tomorrow, Charlotte, Atlanta, San Antonio, New Orleans. On Thursday, we're going to do the Friday play-in games on Thursday. And then on Friday's show, we're going to do like a playoff preview show. Just, every series prices, the futures you like right now, that kind of thing. Just an overview of the entire NBA playoffs on Friday. And then Saturday, we begin our weekend Pub Hub shows. We're looking forward to it. Same time as last year in the playoffs on Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So join us for the weekend playoff editions of the NBA Pub Hub Saturday, Sunday, and you'll get some mixture of 4 people on Saturdays and Sundays. We're going to try as much as possible. If they're around, it'll be me. For the most part, it'll be me, Ski, Wham, and Dutch for the most part. But, if we can get Jay to fill in for someone who can't be there, we can get Durrell to fill in, Billy Bridge, you name it. So that'll be this weekend, the Pub Hub weekend editions, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Looking forward to that for sure. All right, we got best bets coming up. Dutch's freshest look as well coming up. Southtown 101, when you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Enjoy some of the hospitality we enjoyed at Southtown 101 when we were there. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase, Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product with promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, NBA playoffs are here. NHL winding down. Their playoffs right around the corner. UFC, Major League Baseball every day now. USFL starts this weekend. Lots going on. Sign up for an account. MyBookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, best bets, Dutch's freshest look to wrap it up for this Tuesday edition. Wham, let's start with you. What do you like for best bet?
Best bet for me is going to be the clip show, man. We're going straight to the barbershop, go and get the haircut, man. We fading the Wolves. Don't fuck up my hairline, bro. We're going to take the Clippers, bro, +3.
I like that. We're going to the barber. We're getting clipped, and we're going to fade. The timber. I like that. Very good. Well done, Wham. Clippers plus the points and a little money line as well, I'm sure, for Wham with his best bet. Jay Money, what do you got for best bet?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna take. I got some on the Wolves, man. I'll tell you what I bet today. I'll take the Wolves -3 half unit. Wolves money line -145. I just sprinkled on Robert Covington over 1.5 threes at +117. My guys, let's get some cash one time for the one time.
All right, there you have it. Jay Money best bet. All right, Dutch, precious look.
Yeah, man. Hey, what Wham Bam said, man. Precious look, you know what it is, man. It's the clip show. It is what it is. Take the +130, take the +3, and I'm also on the team total over 114.5, man. It's good money, all of it. You're about to eat.
There we go. LA Clippers plus the points and money line. Dutch with the freshest look for the Tuesday NBA Pub Up show. My best bet, I'm going to dare the Nets to cover his home chalk. Until then, I think, and Cleveland's not rolling over tonight in this game. In fact, other than a really bad last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, they were toe-to-toe with Brooklyn down the stretch in the second half. I think Cleveland keeps it close here in this one. +9.5 against Brooklyn, fading a team that's 3-23 ATS. Their last 26 is home favorites. I'll take my chances. Cleveland Cavaliers +9.5 against Brooklyn for my best bet for this Tuesday NBA Pub Up show. And that'll wrap it up. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Great show. Thanks to Jay, Dutch, and Wham. And we will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, with another edition of the NBA Pub Up for Jay Money, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot, Wham. I'm me and Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Cash some tickets, beat some bookies, enjoy the play-in games tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow on Wednesday for another edition of the NBA Pub Up right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Yo, salute to the real ones. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.